The Quartermaine mansion upheaval. How Drew's bold purchase will shake Port Charles to its core. The shocking reading of Monica Quartermaine's will has already sent tremors through Port Charles, but the aftershocks are only just beginning. What started as a family gathering to honor Monica's memory has evolved into a dramatic power play that will forever change the dynamics of the iconic Quartermaine mansion. The revelation that Monica left her beloved home to her long-lost sister, Veronica Ronnie Bard, caught everyone off guard, but the real bombshell is yet to come when Drew Cain orchestrates the purchase that will allow him to exact his ultimate revenge on the family that cast him out. Ronnie's unexpected inheritance creates chaos. The will reading itself was nothing short of explosive. While Tracy Quartermaine had long assumed the mansion would pass to Michael or remain within the immediate family circle, Monica's decision to leave the property to Ronnie blindsided everyone. Ronnie, played by soap legend Erica Slezak, appeared genuinely surprised by her sister's generosity, having lived a modest life in North Carolina, a waitress who taught herself everything she knew. The irony wasn't lost on Tracy, who has spent decades fighting for control of the Quartermaine empire, only to watch it slip through her fingers once again. Her fury was palpable as she processed the news that an outsider, someone she barely knew existed, now held the keys to the family's most sacred space. The mansion, which has housed generations of Quartermaines and served as the backdrop for countless family dramas, suddenly belonged to a woman who had no connection to Port Charles society or the intricate web of relationships that define the Q dynasty. What makes this inheritance particularly devastating for the current residents is the sheer number of people who call the mansion home. The property currently houses an unprecedented number of residents, including Tracy herself, Ned and Olivia Quartermaine, Brooklyn, Leo, Drew, and various others scattered across the main house, gatehouse, and auxiliary buildings. The prospect of Ronnie potentially disrupting this delicate living arrangement has everyone on edge, particularly given her outsider status and unclear intentions. Drew's strategic opportunity emerges. For Drew Cain, Ronnie's inheritance presents the perfect opportunity to strike back at the Quartermaines who humiliated him at Monica's funeral. Tracy's decision to have him physically removed from the memorial service in his wheelchair was the final insult in a series of slights that transformed Drew from a family member into a sworn enemy. His exclusion from Monica's will only added fuel to the fire of his resentment, making him more determined than ever to claim what he believes should rightfully be his. Drew's approach to Ronnie will be calculated and strategic. As a wealthy congressman with significant resources at his disposal, he possesses the financial means to make Ronnie an offer she cannot refuse. The transaction would serve multiple purposes. It would give Ronnie the freedom to return to her simple life with enough money to live comfortably, while simultaneously placing Drew in the position of ultimate power over his former family members. The beauty of Drew's plan lies in its simplicity and legal legitimacy. Unlike the underhanded schemes that typically characterize Port Charles power plays, this would be a straightforward real estate transaction between willing parties. Ronnie, who has no emotional attachment to the mansion and likely feels overwhelmed by suddenly owning such a grand property, would benefit from the financial windfall. Drew, meanwhile, would achieve his goal of gaining control over the Quartermaines without breaking any laws or engaging in the kind of questionable behavior that might jeopardize his political career. The negotiation that changes everything. The meeting between Drew and Ronnie will be a masterclass in persuasion and timing. Drew understands that Ronnie is out of her element in Port Charles high society, having lived a working-class life where she learned to value practical solutions over sentimental attachments. He'll likely approach her with sympathy, positioning himself as someone who understands what it's like to be an outsider in the Quartermaine world. Drew's offer will be generous, probably well above market value, giving Ronnie the financial security she never had growing up in foster care and working menial jobs. He'll emphasize that selling to him would free her from the burden of managing a property she never asked for, while also ensuring that the mansion remains in the hands of someone with Quartermaine connections. The pitch will be compelling. Ronnie gets her freedom and financial independence, while Drew gets his revenge served on a silver platter. The negotiation will unfold quickly, as both parties have strong motivations to complete the deal. Ronnie wants to return to her simple life in North Carolina, and Drew wants to move forward with his plans before anyone can interfere. The legal paperwork will be expedited, and within days of Monica's reading, the mansion will have yet another new owner, this time one with a very specific agenda: the shocking eviction notice. The moment Drew takes ownership of the Quartermaine mansion, he'll waste no time in asserting his authority. The eviction notices will be swift and merciless, targeting everyone who wronged him or stood by while he was humiliated. Tracy, who orchestrated his removal from Monica's funeral, will be the first to receive her walking papers. Ned, who failed to defend him, will quickly follow. Michael, despite being Monica's grandson, won't be spared Drew's wrath, particularly given their recent conflicts over family loyalty and business matters. Jason Morgan's eviction will be particularly satisfying for Drew, as it will represent the ultimate reversal of their relationship dynamics. For years, Jason has been the favored son, the one who could do no wrong in the family's eyes. Now, Drew will have the power to cast Jason out of the very home where he grew up, creating a symmetry that appeals to Drew's sense of poetic justice. Brooke Lynn's removal will send shockwaves through the younger generation of Quartermaines, as she represents the family's artistic and creative spirit. Her eviction will symbolize Drew's complete break with the family's traditions and values, showing that he's willing to destroy the very essence of what makes the Quartermaines unique in order to achieve his goals. The family's desperate response, the Quartermaines' reaction to their sudden homelessness, will be a mixture of shock, anger, and desperate scrambling for alternative arrangements. Tracy, in particular, will be devastated by the loss of the home where she grew up and expected to live out her remaining years. Her attempts to legally challenge the evictions will likely prove futile, as Drew will have ensured that all paperwork is properly executed and legally binding. Michael's response will be especially complex, as he'll struggle with the guilt of knowing that his conflicts with Drew contributed to this outcome. His efforts to find alternative housing for the extended family will become a consuming obsession, as he tries to keep the Quartermaines together despite Drew's attempts to scatter them to the winds. The practical implications of housing so many displaced family members will create immediate drama throughout Port Charles. Where will Tracy go? Can Ned and Olivia find a place large enough for their family? Will Jason be forced to return to a life of isolation, cut off from the family connections he's worked so hard to rebuild? Drew's ultimate victory. As Drew settles into the master suite of the Quartermaine mansion, he'll savor the complete reversal of his fortunes. The man who was wheeled out of Monica's funeral in disgrace will now lord over the family home, surrounded by the portraits and memories of Quartermaine's past. His transformation from outcast to master of the house will represent one of the most dramatic power shifts in Port Charles history. The psychological impact on the Quartermaines will be devastating and long-lasting. Every time they drive past their former home, they'll be reminded of how quickly their world can be turned upside down. Drew's presence in their sacred space will feel like a violation of everything they hold dear, creating resentment that will fuel storylines for months to come. Drew's victory will also establish him as a major power player in Port Charles, someone who can't be dismissed or underestimated. His willingness to completely uproot an entire family to achieve his goals will send a clear message to anyone who might consider crossing him in the future. The congressman, who once seemed like a secondary character, will emerge as a formidable antagonist capable of reshaping the social landscape of the town. This shocking turn of events will redefine relationships throughout Port Charles, as the Quartermaine diaspora seeks new alliances and living situations. The mansion that once served as a symbol of family unity will become a monument to revenge and the dangerous consequences of underestimating a determined enemy. Drew's purchase of the Quartermaine mansion from Ronnie will go down as one of the most devastating power plays in General Hospital history, proving that sometimes the most effective revenge is served through perfectly legal means. Next, we will dive deep into the explosive return of Nathan West and how it's shaking up the lives of his loved ones in Port Charles. In a twist that has fans buzzing with excitement and uncertainty, Nathan West appears to have made an astonishing comeback from what everyone believed was his tragic end. Stepping into the spotlight to finally connect with his young son, James West, in a heartfelt first encounter that promises to redefine family bonds forever. This long-awaited reunion unfolds against a backdrop of heartbreak as Maxie Jones remains trapped in a mysterious coma, her vibrant spirit silenced while her loved ones grapple with the void she leaves behind. Picture the scene: Nathan, looking every bit the resilient detective he once was, with his sharp eyes softened by years of unspoken regrets, extending a tentative hand to James, who stares back with a mix of wide-eyed wonder and guarded hesitation, his small frame carrying the weight of secrets he's only beginning to unravel. Adding layers to this emotional tableau, we've imagined Nathan sharing whispered stories from his past adventures, tales of undercover ops and narrow escapes that James absorbs like a sponge, igniting a spark of pride in his biological heritage. Yet, this moment isn't without its shadows. The Jones-West household, once a haven of playful chaos, now hums with the tension of impending change, as Nathan's presence stirs questions about loyalty, legacy, and what it truly means to step up as a parent in the unforgiving world of Port Charles drama. With Maxie sidelined in her unresponsive state, her extended family is mobilizing like a tight-knit squad, circling wagons around the newly acquainted father and son duo to ensure their budding relationship blossoms without the thorns of past traumas piercing too deeply. Max Scorpio, ever the steadfast patriarch with his no-nonsense demeanor honed from decades on the force, steps in as the voice of reason, offering Nathan sage advice drawn from his own experiences, raising Maxie amid the Scorpio clan's whirlwind of espionage and heartaches. Felicia Scorpio, bringing her intuitive warmth and flair for mediation, organizes gentle family outings, perhaps a quiet picnic by the waterfront where James can bond with his dad over simple joys like skipping stones or sharing ice cream cones aimed at fostering trust and easing the young boy's confusion. We've expanded on this support network by envisioning Robin Scorpio Drake dropping by with medical insights from her global travels, subtly guiding Nathan on navigating James's emotional landscape, while Anna Devane provides covert tips on protecting the family from any lurking threats tied to Nathan's shadowy history. This collective effort isn't just about logistics, it's a profound act of love, shielding James from the psychological scars that could arise from his mother's absence and his father's sudden resurrection, ensuring that every interaction builds a foundation strong enough to weather the storms ahead in General Hospital's intricate web of relationships. However, Nathan's reemergence casts a long, uneasy shadow over those already woven into James's daily life, particularly Damien Spinelli, the quirky tech genius whose role as the boy's surrogate father now hangs in precarious balance, potentially uprooting the stable routine he's meticulously crafted. Spinelli, with his endearing awkwardness and unwavering devotion, has been the constant in James's world, tucking him in with bedtime stories laced with hacker lore, helping with homework via inventive gadgets, and shielding him from the harsh realities of Maxie's condition, making any shift feel like a seismic disruption. Envision the subtle displacement, Nathan's confident stride entering the home where Spinelli has ruled the roost, his casual suggestions for family dinners clashing with Spinelli's carefully planned vegetarian feasts, hinting at an inevitable clash of parenting philosophies. To deepen this narrative, consider how Spinelli's past heart-to-hearts with James about bravery in the face of uncertainty, drawing from his own loyalty to Jason Morgan, now serve as a poignant reminder of the bonds that can't be erased overnight, adding a layer of bittersweet analysis to the evolving dynamics. As Nathan asserts his place, Spinelli might find himself retreating to the periphery, his genius mind whirring with unspoken fears of obsolescence, transforming what was once a harmonious co-parenting setup into a subtle battleground of emotions and egos. This week's spoilers tease a pivotal announcement from Nathan that could tip the scales dramatically, hinting at his bold intention to fully embrace fatherhood by stepping into Maxie's shoes during her recovery, committing to the role he's been denied for far too long and reshaping the family's future in ways no one saw coming. Perhaps this declaration unfolds in a charged living room confrontation. Nathan standing tall as he vows to enroll James in new activities like soccer leagues, echoing his own youthful dreams, or detective workshops to pass on his sleuthing skills, signaling a takeover that's both inspiring and intimidating. Fans can't help but root for this redemption arc. After all, who could deny a man his chance to atone for lost years, especially when his eyes light up with genuine paternal fire? Yet, this resolve introduces ethical dilemmas. Is Nathan's claim rooted in love or entitlement, and how will it honor the unconventional family James has thrived in? By inventing this scenario, we see Nathan consulting old case files to draw parallels between solving mysteries and mending family rifts, providing a thematic depth that underscores General Hospital's enduring appeal in exploring second chances. Of course, no one can overlook the elephant in the room: Spinelli's non-legal but deeply felt status as James's dad, the one who's wiped away tears during thunderstorms, celebrated first steps, and instilled a love for puzzles that mirrors his own brilliant chaos, making any ousting feel like a profound injustice to the heart of their bond. Though the papers might not bear his name, Spinelli's influence runs deeper than ink. He's the one who turned James's nursery into a tech wonderland, complete with voice-activated nightlights and storybooks narrated by AI voices mimicking beloved characters, creating memories that Nathan can only aspire to build upon. Analyzing this further, Spinelli's gentle, innovative parenting contrasts sharply with Nathan's more structured approach, potentially leading to enriching collaborations like joint projects where Nathan teaches physical self-defense while Spinelli codes virtual simulations, yet the underlying rivalry simmers, questioning whether biology trumps nurture in the grand tapestry of Port Charles parenthood. We can bet our bottom dollar that Mac and Felicia have been pillars of strength since Maxie's sudden collapse, pitching in with everything from school runs in Felicia's stylish convertible to Mac's hearty home-cooked meals that fill the house with comforting aromas. But it's Spinelli who's truly anchored the home front, juggling work calls with diaper changes and late-night reassurances. Their involvement adds a generational richness, Mac sharing war stories from his police days to inspire resilience in James, while Felicia uncovers family heirlooms, perhaps a locket from her own adventurous youth to pass down as symbols of enduring love. This expanded support highlights the Scorpio's legacy of unity, yet it also amplifies the pressure on Spinelli, who's expanded his role to include emotional counseling sessions disguised as game nights, ensuring James feels secure amid the uncertainty. Now, with Nathan's energy revitalizing the space, it's entirely plausible he'll push to assume that central role, drawing on his innate sense of duty forged in high-stakes investigations to guide James through this turbulent phase, perhaps by introducing routines like morning jogs along the docks to build discipline and open dialogues. This shift could manifest in Nathan reorganizing the family calendar, prioritizing quality time that includes visits to his old haunts around town, subtly asserting his territory. From a storytelling perspective, this evolution allows for inventive subplots, such as Nathan discovering James's hidden talent for drawing crime scenes, fostering a men-are-many dynamic that echoes Nathan's partnership with Maxie in her journalism days, enriching the father-son narrative with layers of inherited passion. After enduring endless trials, Spinelli is more desperate than ever for Maxie to awaken and affirm his long-overdue proposal, a romantic gesture delayed by life's relentless curveballs but brimming with the sincerity that defines their quirky romance, envisioning a future where their blended family defies all odds. His ring, tucked away in a velvet box amid his gadget-filled desk, symbolizes hope amid despair, perhaps engraved with a code only they understand, a nod to their shared history of digital escapades and heartfelt confessions. Better late than lost forever, this intention underscores Spinelli's growth from sidekick to leading man, but Nathan's arrival complicates the fairy tale, forcing Spinelli to confront whether his dreams align with the reality of shared custody and divided affections, adding a poignant analysis of commitment in the face of unforeseen rivals. Without question, the moment Maxie stirs from her coma, the floodgates will open with the bombshell elation of Nathan's survival, a truth that could shatter her world anew, blending joy with the ache of what-ifs and reshaping her priorities in an instant. Imagine the hospital room scene, her eyes fluttering open to a chorus of relieved faces, only for the words Nathan's back to hang in the air like a thunderclap, sparking a whirlwind of questions about loyalty, forgiveness, and rekindled flames. Tragically, fans face an agonizing wait, as Kirsten Storms has shared she'd be absent from sets until next year, prolonging the suspense and allowing side stories to simmer, perhaps Maxie experiencing vivid dreams of alternate lives where Nathan never left, heightening the emotional stakes upon her return. This delay masterfully builds tension, inviting speculation on how her coma visions might influence her choices, turning a simple wake-up into a pivotal character pivot. In the interim, a simmering rivalry between Spinelli and Nathan seems inevitable, though Spinelli's soft-spoken, empathetic vibe makes outright hostility unlikely instead. Picture passive-aggressive quips over breakfast cereals, or competing bedtime routines that reveal their contrasting worlds. Nathan, typically the level-headed cop with a dry wit, might surprise by digging in his heels, his reasonable facade cracking under the pressure of reclaiming his life, leading to invented tense exchanges where he challenges Spinelli's methods while respecting his contributions. This conflict, analyzed through the lens of General Hospital's history of love triangles, promises nuanced drama, as both men navigate jealousy not just for Maxie, but for the irreplaceable role in James's heart, potentially evolving into an unlikely alliance forged in mutual respect. Whispers suggest Nathan could soon trade his hospital bed for a spot in Maxie's home, cozying up alongside James and even Charlotte Casadini, whose precocious energy might bond with Nathan over shared tales of intrigue, turning the household into a lively, if chaotic, commune. This move paints vivid pictures, Nathan reading spy novels to the kids at dusk, Charlotte giggling at his exaggerated accents, while James warms to the idea of a super dad figure blending adventure with stability. Yet, it begs the question, what becomes of Spinelli? Relegated to crashing on Jason's minimalist couch, surrounded by guns and gravelly advice, a far cry from the warm nest he's nurtured. This displacement adds tragic depth, highlighting themes of sacrifice and belonging in Port Charles' ever-shifting alliances. Mac and Felicia, caught in this familial crossfire, will undoubtedly feel the squeeze, torn between championing Nathan's rights as blood kin and safeguarding the unconventional harmony Spinelli brings, their mediation skills tested like never before. Envision family meetings in neutral territory, a cozy diner booth where Mac advocates for fairness with his authoritative tone, while Felicia senses the undercurrents of hurt, perhaps drawing from her own romantic entanglements to broker peace. Their dilemma enriches the storyline, offering a detailed look at intergenerational wisdom clashing with modern family fluidity as they weigh blood ties against chosen ones. Heartbreakingly, young James stands at the epicenter, his innocent desires to embrace his biological father clashing with guilt over potentially sidelining Spinelli, the man who's been his rock through playground scrapes and midnight fears, amplifying his sense of loss in ways that tug at every viewer's heartstrings. With Maxie out of commission, the boy grapples with dual paternal pulls, Nathan's exciting stories of Harrow versus Spinelli's comforting predictability, possibly leading to invented outbursts like tearful pleas for both to stay, underscoring the child's vulnerability. Losing his mom temporarily is devastating enough, but a second paternal abandonment would crush him irreparably, making his journey a focal point for exploring resilience and the pain of divided loyalties. Striking a delicate balance, James might harbor secret wishes to bridge the gap, perhaps suggesting sleepovers where both men share stories under the stars, revealing his innate wisdom beyond his years. This internal conflict, dissected through emotional lenses, humanizes the drama, showing how a child's perspective can heal or heighten adult tensions, a hallmark of soap opera storytelling. Could Spinelli and Nathan, in a twist of forced proximity, end up cohabitating under one roof while awaiting Maxie's revival, navigating the hilarity and heartache of shared spaces like dueling coffee preferences or late-night strategy sessions on parenting hacks. The awkwardness would be palpable. Spinelli's tech clutter invading Nathan's organized corners, leading to comedic mishaps like accidental surveillance cams capturing embarrassing moments, yet it could birth unexpected camaraderie, such as teaming up for a surprise birthday bash for James filled with custom cakes and fireworks. This scenario, expanded with inventive details, offers a hopeful analysis. In Port Charles, where secrets unravel and hearts mend, even rivals can become roommates in the pursuit of family unity, leaving fans eagerly anticipating the next chapter in this riveting saga.